Thank you very much. Well, I think all of India is in a sense on tenterhooks, anxious about when Anna Hazare will call off his fast and whether we might see a resolution, if not today, in the next 24 hours. Furious attempts have been on to find a middle path, and someone who behind the scenes has been playing a crucial role as a mediator who's been in touch with all sides. Anna Hazare's team, of course, the opposition parties and the government of India, is spiritual leader Sri Ravi Shankar. We thank you very much, Guruji, for making your time in the middle of such a hectic effort that you've been busy with. I must start by asking you, because you're somebody who's been at the Ram Leela Maidan, you've been meeting Anna Hazare ji almost every single day. Do you hope and are you optimistic that we are, as a country, on the verge of a breakthrough?
We are, in fact, yes. See, the ice is broken, as I have said already. There is a softening stand from every side, and everybody has realized our goal is one, that is to make the country free from corruption. And they're all talking, and so good to see that. I don't think the solution is far away. When there is a little give and take and understanding and better communication, we can overcome any crisis.
Now you're smiling, but the government is not smiling today. It's very anxious, and one of the reasons it's anxious is because despite the many rounds of talks now, there are still some sticking points, there are still some differences, and there is also mounting concern about Anna Hazare's health.
Correct.
Now, what do we do in such a situation? The government is suggesting Anna Hazare should call off his fast, and then the remaining days should be used to iron out the differences. What would you advise Team Anna to do at this point?
No, when the basic differences have been through, then of course this is the same opinion with everybody. When Anna's team want the fast to end and then the agreement to come as soon as possible. As on the 6th day or 7th day, there was no hope. There was such a confusion. But now things have developed so much, and it's good. We feel good. Everybody is happy. Both sides are happy. Yesterday, especially, Anna's health was very
anxious.
It's of great concern for everybody. And today he's better. He's cheerful. He's speaking. It's better.
Would you advise Anna Hazare to give up his fast today in the circumstances of the talks having begun between both sides?
When some basic demands of his are being met, I mean it's going to be met anyway, I think he will consider that.
You think he will consider that?
I can't speak for him, but
what would you want to see him doing? Would you want to see him, as someone who's been a founder member of the India Against Corruption movement, you've been part of this from the beginning, would you want him to be...
I want him to be healthy and the trust to be rebuilt. The basic issue is lack of trust on every side. Everybody is doubting everyone else. I want the trust to be rebuilt again, and the resolution come immediately as soon as possible.
Do you think the government has done enough to build that trust?
I can't speak because the team will give you all the picture, because they are talking to them.
Tell us a little bit.
Arvind and others are talking to them.
But tell us a little bit about your mediatory efforts. How did you get involved? We know that you've been in touch with all sides.
My role is very insignificant. It's small.
That's modest, typically modest of you. But more seriously, when talks had broken down, when nobody was talking to anybody, we know that you were meeting all the sides involved.
Yeah, I see in the beginning they were, the idea was, because we went so many times to the government should come to the Maidan and talk, and so there was a sort of deadlock. Then we discussed, and then we moved in the right direction.
Sri, you have said, you have intervened in the past when Baba Ramdev's episode also happened. You have often said, when conflicts come, you like to resolve them.
Well, it's my nature, I just jump in at that moment.
But you're not fasting, because you have often said that you believe that that is not necessarily the best way to protest.
Yeah, of course it's one of the way, but not necessarily the only way.
It's not your way to make a statement, is it?
I won't choose it at this moment. I don't know in the future. Yeah.
Guruji, the critics and those who are concerned about what's happening to our country today are saying that while we all want a strong anti-corruption bill, we also want the institutions of democracy like Parliament to not be undermined. And if we do this in a mad rush without proper discussion, with so much hostility between all sides, where people say sab neta chor hai, if that becomes our mindset, we will be undermining our democracy. How do you address this concern?
No, the generalization of any statement is dangerous. We can't say everybody is a chore. सब कोई चोर हो नहीं सकता. ऐसे कह देना गलत होगा. Generalization and eternalization of the problems are detrimental to the social health.
And are you worried that a little bit of that is happening now?
You know, one good thing about this particular agitation was there was no violence so far.
Yeah.
No violence of any sort anywhere.
It's been extraordinarily
Delhi,
peaceful, yeah.
And Delhi, they have said that crime rate has come down 30% in this last
Because
week.
everybody's at Ram Leela Maidan, maybe. No, but...
No, this, you know, this whole phenomenon is something stupendous. There is an agitation taking place all over the country and there is no violence, no tod-fod, किसी को जान मान का, किसी का नुकसान नहीं है. I mean, this type of waking up or call to wake up is essential for the country. And everyone is taking responsibility, you know, forgetting about their individual thing and thinking about the country. At the same time, I wouldn't say that, you know, target some people and say you are all bad and without having proper evidence about their being a chore or not.
Would you appeal to both sides right now to show more flexibility than they're showing, or do you believe that they're showing enough flexibility?
They are already doing it. They have done it, they are doing it, and I'm quite content with that, happy with that.
But yet we're not seeing a breakthrough, and there's concern that these
No,
points...
no. Breakthrough is happening on many points, many points.
When do you say that we will see Anna Hazare sipping that glass of juice or that glass of water?
I wish very soon.
When do you imagine it would be? Because we know you're on the inside track of this.
No, I wouldn't say that I know every movement, but I know that things are moving in the proper direction, right direction. Whatever little differences are there, that could be ironed out. And both sides have been agreeing, talking the same tune.
So you don't think both sides are being too inflexible in a sense? You think that phase is over?
Not now, that phase is over.
But even today, for example, the 2 points that the Lokpal should be a national bill that covers everything from a village to a city, as Anna Hazare said, the government says no, this is giving one body too much power. The other key difference is whether the Lokpal should cover the lower bureaucracy, cover everybody from a PM to a Prime Minister. The government says no, the states can come up with their own anti-corruption watchdogs. Sri Sriji, what do you think?
See, there are a lot of technicalities it is involved. Our main aim is to see that there is no corruption in the lower level and the upper level as well.
Yeah.
We want both this. Unless you tackle this both, it will be an ineffective bill. You know, on lower level you allow corruption to happen, upper level you don't. You know, money anywhere will anywhere come to another side too. So it has to be handled both. And the technical details, how many people you put, whether you make it separate, those things are left to the experts. I'm not in any way competent to talk about it.
But what makes you optimistic? Because the talks are still stuck on these two issues as of now.
No, the developments and the way it's going with a cordial atmosphere, and it's very good.
Do you feel the opposition whom you've been meeting has also played a constructive role, and what would be your appeal to them? You've been meeting
with BJP all
leaders.
That you will come to know today, tomorrow, you know, when the thing is placed in the parliament, then you will see that how the opposition and the ruling parties, everybody will behave.
Some critics have said that too many spiritual leaders are involved in this movement, and people like Aruna...
Not too many, but because of my involvement.
No, Baba Ramdev's role was questioned earlier. You were named by people like Aruna Roy, but she was at the Ram Leela Maidan today. So how do you respond to this criticism that those who are spiritual should not embrace political issues?
Listen, Barka, people on that advisory council or anyone who is educated, I feel they should be free from prejudice. Prejudice does not indicate the sign of a civilized society of any type, about race, religion or culture, or because somebody is in a different dress, or you know, I may be a spiritual leader, but I'm also an Indian citizen. As a citizen of India, I have every right to participate something that is of national interest, right? So you cannot say that because your name is so and so, or you are religious or spiritual, because of their association I can't be there. That shows a lot of prejudice. But, okay, then why your name indicates a particular religion? Then you should have a Madam Choo Choo as your name. See, because by the name you are known, either you are a particular, you indicate a particular religion. So, if what I teach, the yoga or meditation, breathing, has a basis on Hindu philosophy, what is wrong in it? You know, secularism doesn't mean that you should discard your foundation, your culture, your tradition, your religion.
But your philosophy is quite different from, let's say, a Baba Ramdev's. And when the
totally.
first agitation happened, there were concerns about someone like a Sadhvi Ritambara on stage. And, you know, you're not associated with that kind of philosophy, but people were concerned. In fact, this is a very interesting collection of people in this movement, because all of you seem to have nothing ideologically in common in many ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the cause is great and common and essential for the country, we should embrace people from all different walks of life. Everyone should come. But
is there a danger of communalism creeping in from certain quarters? Do you worry about that?
See what happened. Was there a communalism in this? In this whole movement, there was not an iota of communalism. People from every part of the country, every religion were participating very happily. So I think we need to unite people, and we should not have any prejudice against anybody. This is my contention and my style of working.
You're a consensus builder in a way, and that is